guys, welcome to Brick System Brothers. I'm Nathan Masters, and I'm going to be reviewing the Iron Man Mech 76140. This set is actually part of a series of mechs that LEGO has done for the Marvel characters, and we haven't seen anything really close to this in the movies. It might be based off of something in the comics, but I think kind of the target market here is just for a larger buildable action figure. LEGO can't exactly produce larger action figures of these characters because I think those rights belong to Hasbro. So to kind of find a loophole there, they're making a mech for Iron Man. So it's not an action figure because the actual minifigure is still sitting in here and controlling everything, which is really cool because now we get another Iron Man minifigure. But it's, as far as I can tell, not exactly based off of a lot of source material. At least anything from the movies. The closest thing would be the Hulkbuster, but we actually have separate sets for those. So it's safe to say this isn't based off of any Hulkbuster that I'm aware of. I did just pick up the Iron Man mech. I'm not going to get the Thanos one or any of the other ones. It's kind of the only other one I can think of actually is the Thanos one. But there's a couple of reasons I picked this up. But first let's look at the box and the instructions. So the box is pretty simple. It's actually a really thin kind of cardboard, so even thinner than our regular LEGO boxes. Some nice art on the side. On the back it shows that the minifigure is indeed separate. Some nice rain and lightning background there, and then just legal text on the other side. The top has the actual size minifigure. The bottom has the barcode, stuff like that. And then, of course, we're in the US, so we have to have all this information on here. Something I actually recently learned about is that in Europe, they only put on the set number and the set name most of the time because the age range and the pieces aren't exactly required. So really interesting stuff about that. In some of our other videos talking about, putting stickers on boxes that are coming from Europe for the North American market. But that's about it for the box. It does show that we have our minifigure included here. Really similar box art and style on the Thanos mech. Instructions are a similar story, just our regular upright booklet with just the one size. There were 3 bags in here for pieces, so really simple building. That age range starting at 6. So 6 plus age range, it's going to be really simple. There was one mistake that I found in applying the stickers. They usually put a number on the sticker sheet. And the first 2 sets of stickers were on the shoulders, so on this round sticker, and I think it was the toes. Which one is this? No, this is the toe. So the round sticker and the shoulder stickers were correctly numbered, but the toe sticker is supposed to be numbered 3, and it's numbered 1 here in step 51. If I go a couple more steps for the next leg to step 68, we can see that the other foot is correctly labeled with sticker number 3. So a small error there probably will be fixed in subsequent runs. If they do subsequent runs, it's actually kind of common to see those kind of errors in instructions. Not kind of common, but it's not unheard of. And there's actually cases where it's more severe, where there's pieces missing from the part list and stuff like that. So our actual mech is built using these Mixels joints, which is, it's kind of been not exactly controversial, but we haven't seen these joints produced in colors other than light and dark gray. And a lot of times these joints are used in sets where it would have been beneficial to have these produced in other colors. I think for this set it works fine just because there's, that mechanical aspect of things, and the color scheme of red and gold. It's kind of fine in there to serve as metallic components. So dark gray and light gray here, not an issue. Some other sets, it maybe should have been done in other colors, but as far as I'm aware, LEGO only produces Mixels joints in these colors because the tolerance is so tight on these joints that they would have to make a different mold if they did a different color plastic, just because of the different properties that are introduced when you have different colorant materials. So other than that, our color scheme here being this red, dark red, pearl gold, you actually get a lot of these ingot pieces, 1x2, with this kind of sloped side mold, which is really nice because these, of course, can be used as gold bars in your city builds and mocks. So we actually get like 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 7 or 8 of these in here. And this is actually, I should have changed this for the review. This is a custom built Gatling gun on the shoulder here. The actual set has a disc 1x1 tile shooter piece that's included. I didn't really like that, so I added my own like Gatling gun. This is just built with binoculars and some Technic elements. The shoulder mounted gun does add a little bit of playability. And then of course our minifigure can be removed. And I don't think this is based on a certain suit, so it's not like Mark 45 or anything like that. We also have this updated helmet mold is being used. So this kind of helmet actually doesn't have a separate piece that opens up. Kind of disappointing because I prefer the other kind of helmet. It's more realistic to the character, but it does look like this is a more modern Iron Man figure. The rest of the mech is pretty decent build. For a $10 set, you're getting 148 pieces plus the spares. There's always some spare pieces. And really playable, in fact. These mixel joints actually allow for a much wider range of positioning because it's continuous instead of discrete like some of our other clip joints. So you really have a huge range of motion here. I mean, look at each arm. We've got a shoulder joint and then 2 arm joints in between here in the hand. So you have this range of motion, 360 degrees here, and then these are a little bit more limited, but you can actually get a whole lot of different poses just with a few different adjustments. So you have that on each arm, and then at the hips there's a swivel joint, and there is a kind of a stopper piece here to keep this from going all the way around. So you get about 90 degrees of rotation here at the hips, and then there's an additional 2 joints down to the foot. And the foot is actually attached using kind of a tow bar piece, so you have a very limited range of motion at the ankle, but that's somewhat realistic anyways because most ankles, it's nice to get any range of motion there at all, as we're usually seeing fixed ankles in a lot of mech builds. So yeah, overall it's a really decent build. Using the mixels joints allows for a really wide range of motion. We have an Iron Man minifigure included, so we can add that to our ranks even if we don't care for the mech. This 1x2 is actually a print, so I don't know if that has a lot of uses outside of this mech in particular, but prints are always better than stickers in my opinion. And then we do have several pieces with stickers that have potential applications outside of a mech. If you get the Thanos mech, you can kind of act out battles, play feature there. Again with that disc shooter. I tried it out. It does launch it out of the gun, but it doesn't go very far, maybe like a foot or 2. So not exactly a premium play feature on the mech, but it's something. You could probably use it for some detail work in other builds. I don't really have a use for it. That's why I added that custom gun on there. Other than the gold 1x2s, we have some of these 1x2 Technic bricks, or plates rather, sorry. And these can be useful for building different kinds of walls where you need a pivot. Really just in general, it's a great parts pack. So for 10 bucks, 150 pieces, a lot of these smaller parts in dark red and red, so it's good to get that color. That gold is really nice. I keep mentioning that. So yeah, I would recommend picking this up for 10 bucks if you want a parts pack. If you don't really have any interest in this color, in the character at all, it's an easy pass. You don't need it. Most of these parts can be found elsewhere, but it is a good way to kind of get a group of good pieces in one set. And yeah, you can add it to your brick set collection while you're at it. So thanks for watching this review. Like I said, I don't usually buy this kind of set, this mech style build. There's really similar stuff going on in Ninjago with other mechs that are more well built. Our new Monkey Kid line has a really large bull mech, so that's kind of the one of the flagship models of that line. It's a pretty cool set. It uses some different techniques for the joints because once you get larger, these mixels joints just don't work. They work really well for this size though, and always good to get some more of those. I'm starting to use these more in my mocks And coming up, I might do a little showcase of how I'm able to use these to great effect in putting plates at angles and lining those up really good. So to kind of close off this review, I've done a little kind of stop motion animation. It isn't really high quality at all, but enjoy the dance test of the Iron Man mech.